Hello and welcome. My name is Annette and this is Project Refine Life. And this is yet another addition to my 5 days, 5 VRs. Today, the tag is altarbooks. And this is yet another VR to Meg at Rose Honey Ritual. Meg, you have some awesome tags that you created. This particular tag, the 5 days and 5 VRs, is giving me the opportunity to work through some of the VRs that I have been putting off and wanted to do. Let's go ahead and get right into it. This is my first book, and I know this is not an actual book. This is my journal, and my journal switches. Every time it's full, I move on to the next journal. But I cannot talk about books without mentioning my journal, because my journal goes with me everywhere. So from every altar space that I have, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about if I'm up at my desk and working at my desk, pulling cards at my desk or doing things at my desk, I keep this nearby. If I come downstairs and I'm working on pulling cards or doing a ritual or whatever it is, I keep this nearby and I'm writing in it. After a ritual, I'm writing in it. Classes, special classes that I hold, healing sessions, everything goes in here, everything. So even if we go out of town, my journal goes with me. So it is definitely part of my altar books and part of the things that stay close by me at all times. So actually, I think, if anything, if my practice just came down to like a candle and a book and a pen, I could work with that. If I had nothing else, that would be enough. Okay, this is the next one. This is the Mayan Calendar Astrology book, Mapping Your Inner Compass by Kenneth Johnson. There are a lot of books available when it comes to Mayan astrology. I don't know, maybe this was the first one I got, I don't know, but I utilize this one the most. As you can see, it has all the little tags on it where I can quickly go to whatever page that I need it. But this again goes over the number, so what the number means, what the meaning is of the number of the day, and then the actual day sign. So this has to do with Mayan astrology, with the 260-day calendar that we utilize. So that book is always close by. Another book, and I'm just going to bring these in right now because this is a real pivotal point for me in my practice, but even before my practice was even a practice. So Carlos Castaneda wrote The Teachings of Don Juan, a Yaqui Way of Knowledge. And I'm going to just show this here because my original book has been lost. This book was given to me in 1989, and it was a very, very pivotal point in my life. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of changes. I was in my very young 20s. I had 2 boys and figuring things out. And a lot of things changed for me. It was a pivotal year in my life. 1989 was like when I closed the door on one chapter and moved into the next phase of my life. And it was a very, very important time. And this book, The Teachings of Don Juan, had a lot to do with it because it showed me things that I had not even thought of or experienced before. So the next book from Carlos Castaneda all of his books are great, but this one, and as you can see, I bought this one new, or not new, I'm sorry. I bought this one used. This one is from like 1974 or something. But this particular book, as you can see, like all of the pages are yellowed and everything, but this is where Carlos Castaneda really comes into his seat of power at the end of the teachings with Don Juan, and he really understands how to begin to utilize some of that magic and the teachings that he's had. Very, very important book, and I refer to it often. Sometimes I'll just open up a page and read it and see what I get from it. Now, this is another Carlos Castaneda book, which is the Magical Passes. And the Magical Passes book are these book of postures, of ancient ritual postures that were taught to him from Don Juan. And these ritual postures help put you in again to that seat of power and to move energy and to utilize energy. So this was, again, one of those original ways of working with energy before I really even understood energy the way that I do now. This was and is a very important part of that. And again, another book that was lost through my many lives here and replaced. So this book is along the same lines as this one. And this just came into my collection recently because of the ancient ritual postures. And I think Meg is the first one that I ever saw mention that oracle deck. So I ordered this book first, and then I ordered the deck. But this book again talks about some of those ancient ritual postures. And it has a little bit more detail than the oracle deck. It has some postures in here that are not included in the oracle, and then the oracle deck has some postures that are not included in the book. But again, an awesome, awesome book, and it always stays close by to me. That's one of those books that has become like, oh my goodness, I need this with me. It can't go anywhere. Okay, this book right here, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, and the reference guide were a book that I obtained while I was in a specific training, some energy training, and this is some years back already. But this book was one of the books that was like the required reading for the class. And at that time it was called, I don't know what it's called now, but it was called where I became a tissues issues coach, where you're getting into what affects the tissues, what affects the muscles, the fibers, even the bones, how our body manifests the dis-ease within the body, or the complications, or whatever it is that we've manifested through feelings and through just the way that we handle things in life. So this little reference guide here is what I work with the most now, but I keep this book close by. And it does also reference within this book all of these references here. So everything that's here is also included in this reference guide, but I like keeping this really close by. So I have this on one side, and then I have this on another. And I was just thinking the other day that I should order another one of these just in case I don't ever want to be without this little reference guide, because this one I kind of take with me sometimes. If I'm doing a healing or something, I kind of take this along with me just so I know how to tap into different areas or things. But this is a very important book, and this little reference guide, as you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and show you just so that you can get an idea of some of the things that it talks about here. So let's see here. Eyelids. Flaky skin, feeling inadequate or unworthy, unable to say what you feel, protruding, resenting change, do not want to voice how you feel, red. So if the eyelids are red, not speaking truth of what you see, feeling resentment because of this. So it gets into like all these little nuances, like all these little things, not just the big things, but even just the little things, and what they can be contributed to, or how they contributed to that outwardly appearance of whatever manifested through the body. So again, one of those books that stays close by. This book, Women Who Run with the Wolves. Oh my goodness, guys, if you have not read this book, you really need to. You need to get this book. You need to read this book. This is like a 101 kind of a book. You need this book. So just recently, I went into a thrift shop and I found another used copy of this book that was really in good shape. This one is kind of like, it's had its better days, but still I can't rid myself of this particular copy of this book, because I've had this for quite a while. And again, this is this is a book that replaced one of the other books that I lost, and now I have the other one as well, but I can't get rid of this one. But this one I keep close by, and sometimes I just kind of open it up and read a story. And it really, it's just kind of like, okay, open it up and see what you have, and then just read it and take it from there. Guys, this is an important book. You should read it. If you haven't read it, read it. Do it. Go get it. Okay. Another very important book that stays close by to me is The Four Agreements. And I know that there is now one with the 5 agreements, but this is the OG, guys, the 4 agreements. This is the OG. And this book just helps me see, like, be impeccable with your word. I mean, there's 4 agreements and he gets into each one of them, and it's just kind of like your basic understanding for living and breathing and being a good person in general. Fantastic book. If you, again, another one, if you haven't read it, please do read it. Okay. The Path of the Yoga Sutras by Nicolai Bachman. Now, I was lucky enough to be able to attend a very intimate and small group class with Nicolai, and it was just an experience of a lifetime. He is so well versed on the Yoga Sutras. He has many books out there. Amazing, amazing book and experience that I had. But what I like about this is that he breaks down the Yoga Sutras in a language that is very easy to understand. He relates them to yoga, to thoughts, to exercises. And with each sutra, he talks about things that you can do to bring that sutra into your current your current state of being. Okay, another one is the Yoga for Witches by Sarah Robinson. Now, a lot of people really didn't give this book too much credit because they said it was a beginner book. It is a beginner book, but it's okay because what she did was amazing. So if you like yoga, if you like working with yoga, if you like working with different sorts of magic, this book kind of puts it all together in a neat little shell, and that way you don't have to search through all these reference books. Like, you can just go to whatever it is that you are trying to work with. So let's just say moon magic. So let's go to 119, and here is moon magic. So if you're working with moon magic, then it talks a little bit about moon magic. It talks a little bit about the moon phases, drawing down the moon. So anytime that there's, see, I even like made these special little colors here. So anytime that there's red, it references like a ritual. Anytime there's green, it references a goddess. And, you know, anyway. Okay, so here's like a little ritual for you that you can work with. And then this one, oh, it does say goddess. I don't know what the heck is up with that. My tabbing is off, maybe. I don't know. It talks about the new moon and things that you can do to cleanse and purify, and a new moon ritual. The waxing moon, the full moon, gives you some divination to do. It talks about the waning moon, moon spells, moon festivals. I mean, it just breaks it all down. It really does. And then even here, she gives you the moon salutations and working with the moon goddess, and as far as sun magic is concerned. And I like that because I work with sun and moon energy. I think they're both equally as important. And again, here's your sun salutations, and it just breaks it all down. So it puts it in one neat little container. This is a really cool book. If you like yoga and like this kind of stuff, this is a cool book, and it puts it all together so you don't have to search through all of your books. And then finally, this is the Ayurveda book by Dr. Ladd. And I like this little thin one to keep close by because it's just a really easy, you know, book to grab and kind of look into to see what it is that I need to do or work with, or what I need to change or consider. So again, thank you so much for watching this video and for being present. Meg, this was an awesome video, and maybe it's because I like my book so much and I like to talk about books, and I don't think we do it quite as often as we should because we're busy talking about decks, but you know, there's so much information in these books. So thank you so much, Meg, and thank you so much, you guys, for listening and being here and just being present. I appreciate you so much. From my heart to yours, I will see you later.